Like, happy Tuesday, everybody. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Is it? Yeah, it's freaking Tuesday. Sorry, I'm a high energy, but I haven't slept well the last couple days. We're back with Final Fantasy. Get this set up real quick. I was in the background. I was looking at news because I've been fairly busy at work and haven't been able to catch up on some stuff. Like this Pokemon news that I missed out on today. So I'm gonna have to read that later. I did see that there is a mystery gift code for a random Terra type Mew. I believe mystery gift code is just get your Mew, GETYOURMEW, or something to that effect. Yeah, that's about right. And you know, a Mewtwo Terror Raid coming up, so that's pretty awesome. But in the meantime, we're gonna focus Final Fantasy.
How may I help you today, Clive? Come to claim your just
and
all yours.
make some more progress.
All done?
All right, so last time on Final Fantasy 16, we fought Bahamut in space like a Dragon Ball episode. We met Joshua. That's what happened. We saw Joshua finally. And Annabella is no longer in our story. Happy day! So we can shouldn't be happy that a character did that to themselves, but she was not a good character. I didn't like her. I'm sorry. All right. Primal Genesis, spell cast by Ultima that cast a rolling pall over all of Valisthea. So he is what's making everything so depressing. Finally met back up with Joshua, dominant of the Phoenix and former heir to the ducal throne. Though he and Clive trod their separate paths for many years, the brothers were finally reunited amid the ruins of the Crystalline Dominion. Are we checking up on Tarja? Resident physiker of Clive's hideaway and trusted ally of the cause. Branded as a bearer from birth and forced to serve as a battlefield healer, Tarja put her surgical training to use in removing her own brand, a procedure she has since perfected and offers to any other escaped slave. Oh, so she came up with it. Interesting. All right, so Otto, did this place fall apart while we were gone?
Otto, how fares the realm?
Just the realm?
The realm?
Man.
Oh, she's just
Other things are
as long as
falling
you look
apart
past
here.
The fact storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit. And Gav? He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though. Do you have any good news?
Oh, we got plenty of money.
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
But we spend it all.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
We bought party favors.
Oh, no.
But we already had the party.
I'll leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
Well, let's talk to Vivian to figure out what's going on in the realm. Vivian, what's changed?
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
Well, was it Dhalmekia and or
Look at
Waloed
Bluer than a pair of both.
have some
Tempting though it may
pretty
be, sulking will not help us find a solution to
large
this mess.
swaths
believe
and
is what we
tracts
found.
of land to
I
go
don't
conquer
know.
now.
But I am certain we're more likely
Since
to
that
find
whole
it
family
if
has
we
just
first
fallen
examine the
apart.
facts.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen mother crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces, now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter.
Interesting.
Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dhalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble.
So all we have left is
Meanwhile
Waloed.
moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off Storm. The world, in short, is in chaos.
And we brought
It
it
would
there.
seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away.
You know, looking at it like
the
this
whim of
almost
the
looks like
waves.
Australia. Almost. You know, if you squint and cross your eyes, maybe, I
A
don't know.
castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seems
Anyway, I thought it
fitting.
was interesting that
The reports I've
she
received
says
are
that
considerably more blunt in their appraisal.
the points
Without
closest
the
to
protection of their
most of the
nations,
mother
it will
crystals seem
fall
to
the
be
people to defend themselves
encountering
against
a
those who would
void
take
of
what is
aether,
theirs.
and then
Which
other
is only ever
places
going to end
are
one way.
floods.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's
So
advance.
to me,
Should the king of Waloed
I
deign to invade,
wonder,
there would be none to stop him.
and
None
this
but
is just hypothesis. I would have to wonder if the aether floods that are occurring basically occur naturally, and the mother crystals, when they were around and not, you know, destroyed, were what was keeping all of the aether in balance by pulling the flood across like the expanse to the crystal. So you have like, what's the best way to explain this? You would have like, I mean, it's like gravity though, right? But like you have these 5 strings, let's say, that are connected across this continent, and it's either, you know, it's slowly losing aether, like entropy, but their pull, like their quote unquote gravitational aether pull, was pulling the floods across the continent and keeping everything pretty much in balance. But now you start destroying some of those gravity points, and it all kind of returns back to its natural state.
me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first.
I worry
power whom that could be
that
now, would he?
there's more like Ultima.
Yet for all the fairy
There
tales
shouldn't
tell of the
be.
things, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts.
And yet,
Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have
if
been
there
able to tell you
were
more, but
multiple
alas,
gods,
I fear all remaining
what
copies
happened to
lost
the other
time.
ones that may have been more
You'll forgive
benevolent
me, I hope.
than
Certainly
Ultima?
not.
Did Ultima kill him?
There is
Who
nothing to forgive.
knows?
Even without this journal, you've
Maybe that's
provided
why
us
that
ample
giant
wisdom,
blue hole
and we will always be
is just
grateful
off the
for it.
coast of the Walud and Crystal Dominion area.
Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
You think the realm looks fine, Otto? No! It's all dead! We're all dying! The apocalypse is upon us. We'll stay here in the hideaway. Wait till the whole thing blows over. Or go out and instigate it more. Jay, just chill.
Clive, we have a problem. Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are
Of
three.
course there's 3.
We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves.
One from Mid, one from Gav.
And talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only 2 people who can.
Jill and I...
Let them know we're on our way.
So where are we going to first, Jill? Oh, we'll just pick. Okay. Well. Let's go to Martha's.
This man's gonna die if we don't get
Oh, that was a groan. Oh, man.
Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by a Kashik. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
Like Akashic Fiends
think of?
or Akashic,
That we joined the fight?
like Black
I thought
Shields or
you'd
whatever
never
those guys were
offer.
called.
Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
We're on our way.
Do you think there are as many?
Hurry to the Fallen Gate.
More.
What are you guys just standing around up here for? Come on,
don't think they've
help.
abandoned us, do you?
I will say they've got a pretty defensible like little area. It's just if they did anything to the bridges or anything, like they would be pretty screwed. Very much in trouble.
Clive, wounded.
Okay, so it's fiends.
We deal with the Akashic first.
Bark, bark, boo. I forgot I changed that to ignition. That worked out really well.
You're finished. All yours, Torgal.
That worked out really well. I got rid of 3 of those birds. Ooh, precision sick. Ooh, good warp. I see bombs on the horizon. I see bombs on the horizon.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
They're fresh. What? Wow! What the heck was that?
To rob this place.
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
How do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions.
That
We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
I have to really wonder if I caught that actually.
But how did you come to be here?
It looked like
Where is
as
the
Clive was
commander?
walking off screen, there were
Sway
like
left earlier with a
shadow
scouting
images
party
behind
to
him.
find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
All right, let's go find Wade. Or not.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell, the Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
Well, you took your time getting up here, didn't you?
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
All right. Oop. All right, Torgal.
My brothers.
Mad dogs.
The way he talked, it sounded like there were way more.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
So Wade.
Lord Rosfield. If you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them. But we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
Oh, goody. Akashic Adamantoise.
We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We'll have to.
Certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Then let's do our duty.
Alright, we should be able to get him.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never
Good
been
thing the
one
other
to shy
people
away
can
from
take
danger,
care
Sir
of
Wade. Like
the
any shield
fodder.
worthy of the name.
Jill and
I
Wade,
see you're all
they're
in
not the
one
fodder.
piece.
But the enemies
Martha.
that are the fodder, it's
Is
nice that
something
they were
wrong?
able to take care of them. While I
Look out
focused on
for
the
smoke coming from down
Adamantoid.
Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job.
Always.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
On the other side? Yep, okay. So we're gonna go up and back down.
Mad dogs.
Cut through over here. Cache of goblins.
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
No, not the choke bows. I didn't hold the button. I need to regain health. Whoa. It's like instant black screen.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
I guess I will be focusing on the Ahriman.
So wait, shall we?
Looks like clear out these real quick. That was pretty painless so far. Really should do a home breaker on that. Close. Yeah. Up. Down shift. Got him. Clean. Super clean.
Do you see any more?
No. I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
I think everybody needs to leave this area. Nobody wants to hear that, but I think that's what needs to happen.
What did you find out there?
Nothing
Same
good.
as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner
They'll
or
be
later,
back,
we'll need
and
to.
in greater numbers.
The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that, of course they can stay.
Symbol of trust, loyalty, and undying friendship. For as long as the firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the duchy cannot die.
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Oscar, over here. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rosfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch? I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew. Well, go on then. It's not for me to ask him. Yes, Sir Wade. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I am a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have
Be an
accomplished
outlaw, I
much
guess,
since
huh?
taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other guardians are... I mean to say that, they're... It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire...
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way.
You might. You might. You might really want it a different way.
I will not let you down, Lord Rossfield. You or my uncle.
So Northreach has...
First we find Isabel.
I guess I wasn't following what the actual problem was here. Dalmatia has thieves, right? So what is the problem here?
I can't do it.
More Akashic? Not here.
My lord, milady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Akashic, but different. They've taken so many. I've lost count.
Akashic, but different.
Oh,
Artemis
thralls, yeah.
And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Nothing,
Then we'll look
probably.
for her there.
Don't really see those guys standing up for a whole lot.
More arrived from the capital this morning.
Not many people standing over here either.
Please! Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days. What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall, because they are my charges and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
Hard bargain.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives. Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to.
Not if I take yours first.
Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
I'll have a word with him.
Ah, Clive.
Ah, somebody that could do something about this problem.
And so thought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
How like you to consider my needs. What we need to consider is where the creatures came from.
Jill is having none of that.
One would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors.
I feel like Jill just gave her a once-over too.
Pikeman, yes? What
I got piked!
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
My family. They're still in the cabin.
It's all right. Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? Yeah, they came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just gone.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed Moor when... Where's my Joseph?
It's all right. Just rest now. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
Do. Hey, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna check this out. Do.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Time to fight. You deserve a rest.
Crazy Akashic over here.
Stay down. Farewell. Ready, go? Yeah!
We're not alone.
Can I jump off this? Yeah. Look at these featherless chocobos. Like chocobozos. That was a bad one. Jill, where did you get a chocobo? Ashik Wyvern.
see them. With me.
Should I prime?
Save your strength.
That was old age. Yep. Caught him on the last one. Table hopper, home breaker. Ow. Well. Okay. Well. I did. Hang on, I'll be right back. I did kind of spill something. Okay.
Do you think there are more?
There are always more.
Always.
But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Eat more.
Then we should let Isabel know.
That was me nearly falling out of my chair. That's just got stuck on the floor for whatever reason. The wheels on my chair get stuck through the floor.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to
Rolling
be
on
ready
carpet
for them.
is not recommended.
We shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Ah, new captain.
Hearing that the Dane would look
Surely
after
you
and
will
only
die by the
commit
morrow.
himself to The task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. Whatever it takes, eh? Now me,
Right,
I
and
never
what
needed
is it?
convincing.
Well, what's in
I'm the
it
kind
for
of
you
soldier that
here
protects
with
the people I love.
Isabella?
And the people I love include the one standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
I will see you later tonight.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Let's see. I do this last one in Dalamil, and I think we will have enough renown to expand that. Bum, 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 bum. Do 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 bum 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 ba da da. Oh, and talk to Lubor.
Sid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle.
Eyes up here, sir.
Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalamil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Down the rabbit hole.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
The final sting.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
Are you the
What
proprietor?
happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself.
Oh, it's you.
Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Ultona. Adults? Ultona? Ultona Janai.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
Madness
We're still
or
working on
just
this, guys.
seasonal
But
depression?
in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalimil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
Surely we've got to take the piss out of it. The primogenesis in Shattered Skies.
So,
PISS.
You see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Bait?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went
Full of
wrong.
windows.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When we can have
All
Clive
that
fight
fear
for
and
you.
anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Well,
Play
carry
along.
on.
What he means to say is yes.
I don't know why I need to follow you to learn about that. Like, I could have just told me.
Picture it, Conrad. Your own... Here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canberra to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying
Man.
that Alamil's finest cannot defend
Jill's pretty
this
good
town
at this.
better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely hot.
We'll show them.
Damn,
the
she's
bastards
hot.
who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
The wheel is turning, but the chocobo is dead. It's a big wheel, but the chocobo was dead. I'm sorry.
If I had my pickaxe, I would.
I mean, it
Hanging
may
out
still
in
be
the
possible
baths,
to buy
eh?
something. Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious
I look
League of
nothing like a
Merchants.
merchant.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Very true.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have.
I don't feel like Lubor is really selling this very well.
Everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Oh, I'm ruined.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles.
Good, good.
They may even learn to.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts.
Bad.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalimil as we speak.
Dead.
All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in two groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer thin defenses.
So which side do you want me to
Very well.
defend?
Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalimil,
if they're fighting from the south side, they should have a lot more of an advantage if they would just bottleneck them through the door and not let them climb over the cliffs or anything.
Their hands are kept occupied, and I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
So it'll be what, like 8 guys?
No women.
I was close on that number.
I'll take that one.
These all yours.
Sultan.
Too slow.
Man, you walked into the wrong fight here. Oh, what? I guess it did not switch on me. I hit the wrong button, I think. Let's try again. Hit the way wrong button.
No women folk have come to us.
I'll take that one.
They mean to overwhelm us.
Alright, that's better. Level? Yeah.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
That was 13, 14, maybe? 14, maybe total people?
That we should hurry.
Pretty good group.
Natalie, I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Dalimil.
We all saved Dalimil.
Now kiss.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
That just seemed like one of those situations where that would have happened.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble over the details? We are united, and that is all that matters. As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act.
What are
I'll
you
take
talking
that as a
about?
compliment.
Alright. Renown. Well past, I think, of the amount. Back to the hideaway!
Our friends seem to have things under control.
Before we do that, we'll talk to Karen.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. It'd better all be here. You'll not find a better price than that.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into town?
Guardians are getting along with the Axis fine enough, working to shore up the rest's walls when not clearing out what few threats remain down in the reeds. Though, chances are we'd still be neck-deep in Akashic had you not given that horde your firm but gentle nudge. I know you've a realm to save and all, but if you're ever in need of a quick reviver, come see us and we'll tap you a cask. You have an uncanny talent of showing up where you're needed, my lord. Without your steel, I fear the rest would be in the hands of the Akashic and us but more of their nameless numbers. However, with the horde now both thinned and fractured, we Guardians can focus our efforts on putting down the smaller packs without the worry of being overwhelmed. Artha's blood axes can return to defending the toll. As for young Oscar, you will forgive my sudden request for taking him under your wing. He is a good man, attentive, polite, hardworking. So as you can see, he already has learned everything he can from me. He would do well to continue his squiring under a more worthy shield, and the realm has none more worthy than you. Clive, you have the town's thanks for helping rid us of the thralls, but we are neither of us so naive to think that we have seen the end of their like. Good Philippe has taken to seeing that we are prepared should the ghouls come once again calling, but I oft worry about the rank of captain has begun to weigh heavily upon his shoulders. Just as I imagine the same might be said of you and your burdens. But remember, should the weight ever become too much, you needn't stand alone. Our hearts and arms remain ever open, as do the Vale's doors. Just like Jill, like slowly creeping in, like seeing that last line. Never, never, you will never see her again. The Guard and League have put aside their differences for the time being, allowing us all leave to sip our snake spit in relative leisure. For that, I would hazard, we have your better half to thank. You put on quite a performance. As for yours, well, from one aspiring thespian to another, might I suggest working on your delivery, and your projection, and those stiff limbs of yours, and your countenance, and, well, everything else. We wouldn't do the same, well, we wouldn't do the name Underhill a disservice, would we? Wouldn't want to do the name Underhill a disservice, would we? Okay. Letters read. Potions claimed. Bought. Docked. We'll talk to Desiree for renown rewards. Patron's Whisper.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Oh, what is Georgie?
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Is everything we've received and everything promised?
Ability points.
Come again.
That's a lot.
I may have more for you.
I would have to imagine a lot of it coming from hunts. Yeah, I got 3 new ones. 1, 2. It's not a whole lot from those. The Magath brothers. And of clubs. Anything new here? Valestia. Let's learn about the primogenesis. The unbalance in the ether that resulted not only sapped the potency of crystals and magic in those lands that remained livable, but filled the rest not only with its glowing thralls, but with aether floods, turning men and beasts into mindless, merciless Akashic. Okay, that's just kind of explaining more the primogenesis.
Was wondering when you turn up. Had owls from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Luck of the
Let's
protagonist.
see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the colour of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
Now's the time for me to give you your next waypoint. Here.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred.
Oh, that's what drove... Okay.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Bad things.
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts.
And being his cage?
As I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me.
You're not really putting 2 and 2 together here.
I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon.
You have
Nigh
5.
limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind.
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle.
Resting.
And fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Well, at the time you were both unconscious. There wasn't really another option. Whoa!
Joshua. Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Off we go, apparently. Brother's coughing up blood, and now we gotta go save Gav.
Well, what's the short of it?
Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities.
Vivian looks like really perplexed by it.
Stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord
And
Byron
frustrated.
Wood? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
Exactly.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Thanks,
Were
Tarja.
Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
But who will look after you, Clive? Who will look after you? And the new side quests that have popped up everywhere in the hideaway. Hippocrates. Karen. Oh, not even no, it is Karen. Karen in the oh no, it wasn't Karen, it was somebody else. Off in the yard, maybe. Not even Hippocrates. For you. Surely.
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly.
Well, start
They were in the
preparing that
atrium
punishment.
when I last saw them, as always.
You mean this little guy behind me? Is he the one that did it? No.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Oh, that blasted book! Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
We helped your husband?
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down. So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favourites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Well, that's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something.
Well, we might as well go talk to him
I'll
first,
see
because
if I can
he's
find your
pretty close by.
ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
I also realize now that it has been a week, maybe more, since I've saved the game. I've put the game on rest and not really shut down the system. Yeah, it was almost a week ago. New save. Just in case.
Is a storm coming, Sid?
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valicia, a culinary pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact.
Many good meals I make out of
wonderful
that
job
book.
with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Saint-Brecois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Saint-Brecois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the
Go
drake's
out
mint?
by, like, Northreach?
Bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them.
Are they both in
I may
Northbreach?
add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other.
Okay.
To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Rainy, let's go.
Seems the height.
It's back in the. It looked like it was in the yard. Oh, it's gate. It's goats.
What am I gonna do?
Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more discomposed than
He's
usual.
mumbling.
I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like. Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dallimil Way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Debatable.
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
I mean, she may have gotten roped into something that she didn't mean to sell to somebody else. Alright, well, let's talk to Karen.
Lady Karen. How's business?
Off with it, Clive. I know you're here for
Nearly
something.
As foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
Can't complain. Wait. What exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care, but here you are today, raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Popoto?
Asking. Out of interest. All right.
Is that anything like those potatoes
I'm
in
here because I was
FF14?
told that certain rumors have been circulating about you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
Evil exploits.
I didn't exactly hear firsthand.
It was Goots, wasn't it?
All I know is that someone in Dallimil has been spreading word to that effect.
Lubor?
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be
No,
the
Karen,
words
I
out
don't
when
believe
turned a blind eye
that
to
you
the
are.
wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
Aye, it was. Now, I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day.
Alright, well, back to Goots. Yep. Goots, she said she didn't do it.
I spoke with Lady Karen.
What did she say?
She didn't do it.
The rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth.
So they are.
Along with some other things that made her feelings clear. while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past, she says those days are behind her.
Oh, well, that's good. I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad. But why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalimil. So that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell me, you'll see.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
Oh, right. But that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
Oh.
I suppose it is.
You've talked me into it. The extension of a quest. Shame on you, Goots. Shame.
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his...
Don't say it like that.
We're all gonna die. You hear me?
Oh, we got a crazy lady.
I say we should just tell Miss Shirley.
You'll get us all straight. I'm telling you, I can fix them.
Oh, you broke it.
Sid!
Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
we're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Middledore showed us.
Miss Middledore? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Middledore said,
Ninja-neer.
"You see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again."
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
They forgot how they took it apart.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss
That we know
Middledore's
of.
scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others?
The arm, the pans, or the gear?
This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me?
Let's
to ride
stay
one
on
day?
track here. Let's.
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh Goots? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Minidole's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
Well,
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round.
you spin me right round, 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 round,
right.
round.
They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
Not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult.
Ninjineers, all of us.
So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. There.
That was a lot of, like, effort on Clive's part for...
Yes, we
What-
did it.
Well,
Didn't seem
with
like it
Sid's
needed to
help.
be that intense.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right.
Oh,
You're
that's
Miss
what
Minidole's
that
heirs.
word is. Engineer, not ninjineers.
Yeah, heirs for the future.
Heirs.
She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Mididol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until
Who are you?
then,
You're
now,
talking to him. He told you that.
try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
Figure it out, kids. Go back to Shirley. Back to Shirley.
We're all gonna die! You hear me?
Ma'am, I will throw you out of the hideaway if you keep that talk up.
I heard the Emperor was impaled.
Not here. Not now.
Seems the hideaway is
There's a storm coming, Sid. Will there be...
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid...
I don't blame
who lost
her.
both her parents to war. It was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen
If
to
she
swallow.
feels like she's learned enough
That should come as no
from the
surprise.
schools in Canberra,
She's
then
only ever cared
she
about
can do her
bringing
own
people
thing.
hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
What the Enterprise is all about.
She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
You've given them far more than that, and I'm sure they're very grateful.
All right, so let's go. Oh, there's one on the missives. I nearly missed that one.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into time?
Master Clive, I apologize for this sudden and untoward gesture. Circumstances have forced me to seek immediate aid, and there is none other whom I may turn. Your most esteemed lord uncle has presented me with a task most vexing, and I fear I am wholly unable to perform to his vaulted expectations, namely due to a marked lack of martial aptitude on my part. To wit, I am but a manservant, not a mercenary. While I maintain the fitness ample to attend to the needs of a manor, to the attending of bandits and back alleys, I am sorely ill-equipped. If it please you, my lord, prithee, come and see me at Martha's Rest, where I shall proceed to explain my predicament in full. Sebastian Rutherford, Seneschal to Lord Byron Rossfield.
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant?
That's probably not the
Why
way
would
to
he
say
be at
that.
Martha's Rest?
Cynical. Cynical? I doubt it's cynical. Alright, well, let's go take care of the wyvern first. Or I can't. Well, that's awkward. Feels like the first time I think that has done this to me. Unless I... just picked this stuff up kind of more out of order than I expected it. I don't think so. Those weren't available till I talked to Vivian and Otto. Or is it because Joshua is in the party? Cloak and dagger. Can I... Okay, well, what was the point of that then? It seems odd. Like, if you just leave the marker there, I will go back to it eventually. Like you didn't think I was gonna do it. Gonna run through this.
But there were ghosts at the gates, not days.
Ghosts? Like, hey, Scope, do you believe in ghosts? Oh, that was real bad. Like, hey, Scope. Oh man, that's way off too. Like, hey, Scope, do you believe in ghosts? That's a little bit better.
To the meadows then.
Wolves. Silver Lobo. That's what I'm talking about. That's a combo right there.
He said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. This must be our wyvern. Right. Let's get this over with.
Ooh. Ow. Nice drop. I think other than those 2 hits, he really didn't touch me. I have a ton of ability points.
That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent.
And these right here that look like a blue bonnet type of setup. Well, a blue setup. A blue bonnet type of growth, but yellow.
I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe. Better head back.
Yeah, we're not, though. I'm gonna go back there. Not right now. Now. Let's go to Dalamil. There's a side quest. Why? What is up with this? Like, side quests abound now.
The bandits, maybe.
You guys still haven't picked up the city. Like, I was only gone for a couple of days, but at least pick up the weaponry.
The gentleman of the town guard.
Could be I know something more.
Clive, listen! I've found someone who says he's heard the rumors about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever'll pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work.
Karen
it just
wouldn't
so
necessarily be
happens
the
I have.
Reaper.
You'll find her right here plying her
She
trade
would be
most
the
days.
ferryman.
Here in Dalamil. Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Like next to your wagon? Loading? Oh, that's not your
Nan's the
wagon.
Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in 2 places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this stall he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but Be careful, Clive.
Is it that one
You too, Goots.
in the little pond area? No, it's not. It's this other one.
Finest cell sword. Fuck.
The gentlemen of the town guard are
You fought very bravely. The safety of the town is in our hands.
Time to brave the viper's nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Hello, gentlemen.
Leave now and we can pretend this didn't happen.
Oh, I landed before I was able to. Bummer.
Oh, you've done it now.
Really? I've gone and made you soil yourself?
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots. Right now.
You can't do that and run away, man. Come on. You can't call me that and then run.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
And so shall you, with a sword through the heart.
Goose, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood.
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of
Because she was a better
countless
merchant?
others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime.
Capitalism
I will
ho,
not allow it
bitch.
to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No,
No.
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself.
Goots, no.
Enough, all of you!
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalimil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs.
You bitch! Everything that happened.
Oh,
It was
wow.
all your fault. And now you'll finally pay for what you
Okay,
did
so
to
the
me.
other guy wasn't going to soil himself, but this guy might.
Goots, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck.
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs. You remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect.
Oh, I'm going to take one of his, huh? Ooh. Ow. Well, they blacked it out at least.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It ain't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
He's not coming back.
If he does. First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson
He won't
soon
be Wet
enough.
Legs soon enough.
But something tells me the Wet Legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite
Ta-da.
enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Ta-ra, Clive. What was that? Ta-ra, Clive.
Remind me never to cross you, Karen.
Alright, now let's go help out the guy at Martha's Rest. Rutherford. Aye, sir. That's a different kind of noble voice. That's that waspy noble. I say. That's a super
Have you heard the latest
super
from
malignant waspy noble.
that the Empress is no more?
My lord Marquis, it is you? Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your lord uncle's estate.
Of course.
Yes, and what would you have me do, Rutherford?
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos.
We're already there.
Uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas, I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They're both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe.
No, just being trained doesn't help
you want
if you
me
have
to
no
find
combat
them?
experience.
I'll need to know where they went.
One
Like true
advises
combat
to
experience, not
investigate the Republic,
like training
the
combat.
other, the old imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalimil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
So you are also sending me to Dalimil. All roads lead to Dalimil.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Mummy.
Guy looks like he's on the outskirts,
The gentleman of the town guard.
hanging out in the canyons. How we doing on?
Anything I can interest you in?
Fare you well.
Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
That's pretty obvious.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you'd kindly pay the coin he owes us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
And if you walk away, we'll just pretend you didn't die.
I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
No, I want this. No, that's not the one. Garuda Gouge. Still haven't ever used like Rook's Gambit. But I feel like Rook's Gambit would be better on
These were men of the fist.
Much has
larger
changed
enemies.
in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
You've seen this kind of thing before then?
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more, and his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist's Central Command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
So they're bandits.
Imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
You might want to borrow their clothes.
Not at all. Now, to find this second associate of Rutherford's. If he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail.
Man, these all intersected, didn't they? And here we are again. Out of way. Oh, he's right behind me.
There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere. What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
And then you found him. I am Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it ended
Caught a
was
backhand across the temple. Almost striked.
south toward the gate.
All right. I'll take care of them.
We shall
Neither
dispatch
met
them
enough of their
kindly.
kind. You head back to Northreach. Visit the Vale. Tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I shall. Founder be your shield.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
Stealing again?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Oh, I was waiting in downstairs. I couldn't see that. should have just let the gouge go and then done it and then followed through.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, and I'm fine. Which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport the grain. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course. I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first. Had you not happened along,
Go see a healer.
Thank Rutherford.
Stop talking and walk back to Northreach.
I shall send a Bistolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
Thank you.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
Smooth like butter. Take care of this one first. Head back to the highway.
I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work quickly.
Well, quicker than you are now.
We must work together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish.
As it is mine.
Okay, back to the hideaway. Let's talk to Karen first and get this one.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble
Lovable
again.
galoot.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. Don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday.
Wouldn't have it any other way, Karen. According to Karen, a censer packed with herbs and ambergris can ward off anything from insects to the plague, protect a home from thieves and demons, and heal any number of ailments, all while bringing love and fortune. So you can read. Congratulations.
It seems the hideaway's lost its...
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
While this pungent herb, once known as Drake's Mint, has no known curative properties, it does have the ability to mask foul odors and flavors, which is why it is found in recipes involving particularly foul-smelling flesh, such as the lights and livers of wild beasts. Some naturalists believe that it is the blueback wyvern's proclivity to feed on carrion that results in their livers becoming so engorged, and that the saints' bonnets with which they follow their meals serve to ameliorate this effect. Others claim that it is the blooms themselves which cause the damage, wyverns being so taken with the flower's taste that they cannot resist.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope
I will
these
say-
grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about.
The fact that the Saint's Bonnet has an innate ability to mask
And here we
foul
have it.
smells or flavors or
Fried
something like
mortress
that. That's
of
kind of
skyworm.
incredible as an
Ivan's
herb.
offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
They made chicken nuggets. Maybe not quite up the par. He'll be fine.
So, not fit for consumption then.
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the Saint's Bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force. A force of nature, even. A maelstrom of
Molly's
flavor and
maelstrom?
sensation. A graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a
You've
word
made
to the
chicken nuggets! So set the world on fire!
Might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
Alright, I do believe we hit a
Seems the hideaway
good enough threshold for one more visit to Desiree.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Gout, like...
How are you doing? Anything catch your eye?
Okay, well that one's just like up the road. So that one...
Always something in there.
We'll wait on that one.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts?
Hugo's men are gone, and with them the fear in our hearts. Once more shall the markets echo with mirth and merriment. It is you who we have to thank.
Here you
I'll
are.
take another 1,500 ability points.
Best of luck out
1120.
there, Sid.
Way up there. Okay. Well, all of these aside, I'm not going to start this one yet. But the Crozet echoes, a wind-blasted sprawl of bottomless ravines, latticed with the colossal flotsam of people fallen. For now, I do believe just stop a little early tonight. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna save this. There, yeah. So we got what I would assume would be Odin, and then Shiva, or the other way around, Shiva and then Odin. I think Jill will live, but she's just going to be out of commission, I would say. But yeah, so that's all done and taken care of, done and dusted. Check the ATL. Tabor, an ancient settlement in central southern Dalmatia, that seems to cling to the very cliffs which dominate the landscape of the region. Its proximity to the free cities of Convert gives Tabor a ready market for the high-quality leather its tanners produce, as well as the salt and minerals mined from beneath it. The town's long history of isolation, however, has clouded the hearts of its residents, and to this day, many remain unwelcoming to outsiders. Alright, well, that's done. Go ahead and save again. We'll just watch them happily dance. Another stream completed. Come back tomorrow, and we will continue on the main quest. See where we progress to. Yeah. So for now, you stopped by. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for lurking. All of that. Once again, I just do this for fun, but appreciate anybody that stopped by and watched or is watching now in a video that I may upload. Well, not may. I will upload eventually. So, to you, I say thanks, and have a good night, and see you next time. Bye.